Somebody who's been with us before is with us this morning to talk about the looming government shutdown or not is political strategist Cliff Maloney. Good morning, Cliff. How are you?
Hey, I'm great. Thanks for having me again.
Absolutely. Let's talk a little bit about, if you don't mind, from your perspective. I think Trump sits in a bad place because I think Trump made the wall one of the pillars of his campaign, one of the things we didn't believe as Trump supporters he would ever blink or fudge on. And, Cliff, I could be wrong, but I'm afraid of where the politics leads if Trump makes this deal with the Democrats in the Senate.
Yeah, I don't think you are incorrect. I would agree with you. What I would say is this is probably one of the first times in my life that I think that spending might not actually, usually this is what happens in this city. The Republicans have their demands. The Democrats have their demands. They argue about it on C-SPAN, but at the end of the day, what happens? They spend all of our money, tenfold. And who gets sacked with that? We do, the American people. We got to deal with the debt at almost $22 trillion. But now you've got politics involved. The Democrats don't want to spend a dime on border security because, that's Trump's big thing. And, they stand against Trump. But here's the sad part. Here's the hypocrisy of Washington, D.C. Every single mainstream Democrat supported funding the border wall when Obama was president. Think about that. I mean, think about how crazy and fully funding it. So to me, you've just got, the rhetoric on the, from the Democrats right now is just so strong to being anti-Trump. How are they going to go back to their base and say, hey, yeah, we did support the wall. We did give him the money. So I think there's going to have to be some concessions. I think you are right. Trump is in an interesting position, but I wouldn't be surprised if they come up with some sort of spending bill through February that gives Trump enough money for the wall that he can say, hey, look, we've started the process. I got the Democrats to at least get us started. And then the Democrats can try to claim victory by saying, well, we gave him a very minimal amount of money. But that's politics, and that's what we're going to see in the next 64 hours before the deadline.
But, Cliff, I think a lot of the American public, I guess I would be a close observer to American politics. I think a lot of the general public, the less informed, become very frustrated when something as important as immigration reform and securing the border are always threatened by a government shutdown. How do you explain to people when they say, excuse my French, why in the hell are we always talking about shutting the government down when it comes to real important issues that control our country's fate and future?
Yeah, I'm going to get in trouble here with this line, but this is the truth, okay? Politicians' goal, their aim, is to do nothing. and people think I'm kidding when I say that, but here's how the political class works, okay? Anything that they do, any vote they take, any public statement they have to put out, they're going to upset somebody. So their goal is to do nothing. They've already got the power. They're here, They're getting the kickbacks. So what they do is they wait till the very last minute every single time. One, because it builds pressure and something has to happen because it's the fear of the government shutdown. And two, they do this because it's tactfully a timing thing. They want people to go home. So the leadership in the establishment, which I'm going to be very blunt with you, is not in the same camp or in the same ideology of the American people, especially not of the conservative base. And I'm talking about establishment Republicans. So I like to be pretty clear about that.
Sure.
They're working for not the American people, and so they have these things that they put up last minute because the short-term spending bills, they'll kick the can down the road. And this happens time and time again. And here's the thing that really pisses me off, excuse my French, is even if they do shut the government down, it's like a paid vacation for the government employees that do get sent home because we always end up funding it later. So that's the frustrating thing for Americans across the country is, we got to balance our checkbook. I'd like to see the federal government have to do the same thing, and they don't. They spend our money, and when they don't have any more money to spend, what do? They tax us, or they print the money, or worst of all, they go out and borrow it. $22 trillion worth of debt that we have to cope with. It's just frustrating for the American people.
Very well said. Thank you very much, Cliff, for your time this morning.
You guys have a Merry Christmas.
Do the same.